Hey everyone, welcome back. Another week with the Ryan and Dirk Lunch Podcast. Woo. And we are here today. Where are we? It's kind of a crazy name.
Yeah, so it's Bobcat Bonnie's. It's over here in Breton Village.
Yes, I've never heard of it. Ryan put it on my calendar and I showed up. So it's really cool. It seems like a breakfast spot. So we got breakfast food today. And so to start it out, I guess, Ryan, what is going on with the shirt? Is this your normal work attire? Or?
No. Well, they say real estate agents, they either got to be attractive, flashier, or something else, very charismatic. I don't know. So, but no, Garret is very into flamingos right now. So I'm wearing this one in honor of Garret. I've actually got flamingo socks on today,
the socks
too.
are pretty awesome.
So, so Garret says fingos instead of flamingos, and I put this one on. I knew it was podcast day. Brittany bought this shirt just because it's
amazing.
Funny to hear fingos. So, 4-year-old toddler. So
was Garret pretty pumped when he put it on?
Oh yeah, I walked out today and he's like, "Fingos, Daddy!" So
that's amazing. So today we're going to talk about a couple things, but we want to talk about mindset. Mm-hmm. Something that we've talked about a lot, and I think it's something that you've really done a great job of modeling for years.
Sure.
And something that I've admired about you for a long time too is the mindset of, and I'm sure I'm it's just my perception, but it seems like you have less fear than a lot of people.
Sure.
And you have less apprehension to go for things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do you seem to just go for things and not be as afraid of failure as honestly somebody like me?
So I guess I've always had this warrior's mindset. Like, I don't think warriors are afraid of conflict, right? So they know that they're intrinsically going to be faced with difficulty if they have that. So when I think about things, in my brain, I have a really internal conversation all the time going, and I really believe in the power of words. So when I think about a warrior, they're pretty ruthless, and I don't try to come across ruthless, but my internal talk is usually pretty, our team, and I think I've said this on a previous podcast, is we're positively thinking in the negative of what can happen. So I'm thinking about outcomes. I'm having 50 faucets turned on in my brain at a time, and I'm trying to see which one is the right one to turn off, or turn off all of them and leave just one going. So now that mindset is, I'd rather be and this is a popular quote, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? So, so when I think about that, it's like you can be really mean if you have to. You can be ruthless if you have to. What does that come with? It comes with people, they do judge me and saying, Ryan's risky. Ryan will take on risk. But for me, there's people that have done it before me, so I look to their example, their model, their success, and what have they done? Who are they? What is their self-talk that's allowing them to take on opportunities? If you look up the word invest in the dictionary, it won't say risk. It's going to say moving your money and capital into an opportunity, essentially. So that's not verbatim for a dictionary, but it doesn't have the word risk in it. So, so what? Do I fear anything? I'm fearful almost every single day. I'm fearful I don't have enough time to spend with my family. I'm fearful that I won't be healthy enough in my future. I'm fearful I won't be there for my sons and daughters' major moments. I'm fearful that cancer is a reality. There's things that I'm fearful of. So I put myself into action today by what I'm doing here mentally. Because I don't, what people are doing in 80 years, I want to have done in 7.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast recently from Craig Rochelle, his leadership podcast, and he's one of my he's been one of my favorite pastors for a long time. and he talks a lot on leadership. He has his own podcast, and he talked about how to create momentum, and he talked about these facets of how to create momentum, and the key one that he mentioned, the last one he mentioned, was grit. And that's the thing that a lot of people can show up, and my boss Seth Bellis has shared this with me before, where he went to this big leadership conference, and in the conference, this guy said, went up to the main speaker, the headline speaker, and he said, a bunch of my competition's here too. He's like, you're giving me all this awesome information, but you just gave it away to everybody else. He's like, what? How am I gonna succeed? Because now, yeah, I can up my game, but they're gonna up their game. And he just told them. He looked at him. He said, the issue is, and this is what Craig Rochelle was getting at, is everybody can know what to do, but he said only a few % of the people that are here are actually gonna follow through with grit and become doing great. Thank you. That are actually gonna follow through and do what they're supposed to do, what they're called to do, and that takes grit. It takes effort, and it's hard because it comes with rejection. And I'm talking to myself here. It's hard sometimes to reach out to people and to try to build relationships with people, and to get no's or to get rejection of hey, we had a great meeting, and all of a sudden
going with someone else.
Oh, we're gonna go with somebody else. I know you just dealt with that, earlier today or the other day, and
yesterday. Yeah.
It's hard. But in the same regard, if I only step up to bat one time and I fail, I might only fail once, but I'd rather step up to bat 10 or 20 times and still I might fail 70% of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get, probably 5 or 10 more hits than I would have gotten otherwise. And I think at the end of the day, that can make me happy to lay my head in the pillow at night and say, all right, I might have failed more than I had before, but at least I know that I tried. And one of my favorite quotes is, the pain of regret is harder than the pain of hard work.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know, that was something I took away from what Craig was saying, from what you're saying right now, and what it means to have a positive mindset and to get that momentum.
And there's no one that likes baseball analogies more than Ryan Prichard does. So, but yeah, stepping up to the plate, like if you're batting 500 the whole season, you're going to be setting Hall of Fame records, right? Baseball is one of the best analogies between success and what that looks like, and the amount of times that you actually have to fail, right? You don't have a single error all season, you're getting a platinum glove. If you have maybe one and the competition also has a bunch of errors, you're still probably likely in line to get a gold glove, right? So you can win Olympic-sized things by failing 2/3 of the time in baseball.
Yeah.
So what I love about that is you don't have to be on the ball every single time, but what does the compounding of all of your actions look like? Because your compounding of your actions with the right team players can actually lead to some of the best success. Yeah. So who are you allowing to influence your decisions, right? I sent you a little podcast about words. So before I jump into that, I'm curious, share with them, a little bit about what that little 30-second video was and maybe how that impacted or what you thought of it.
Yeah. So essentially the video was talking about this. It was like I think it was a dad talking about he's not going to speak negativity into his kids. He said that when he was growing up, he was told, hey, you're shy. And he started to believe that in his heart. I'm just a shy person. And that in turn led to him acting out in shy ways or not speaking up when he should have, because that was spoken into him. And being shy isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if it's spoken into you, there's a power in that word because you start to believe that about yourself. And so he said, when I raise my kids, I'm going to speak life into them. He's not going to just applaud like, hey, you're great at this, or you're really smart. That's great. He's also going to applaud the process. He's going to applaud the fact that, hey, you worked hard today. Even if it wasn't a success, hey, you went for it today. Like, that's something that I think a lot of times in our society we don't really applaud. And I think it's great to win, and we play to win the game 100%. But also the people that show up, the people that are grinding, the people that are showing up. I talked to my friend just the other day, and he's like, went back to the gym today. And I'm like, good for you. He goes, yeah, I didn't finish my full workout. I said, listen, the first step is you showed up. Mm-hmm. You did that. Like, that's something to be proud of. And I think a lot of us, just in life, in work, in general, is just showing up, having that grit, doing the work, and the power of words that we use, as a leader, to speak life into people. Absolutely. To encourage the grit, to encourage the little things, the process, to encourage the things that are life-giving, and not diminishing of somebody. So,
and those words, and you're not father yet, but you have influence on Becca's daughter, right? So, and I have Garret and Ariana, and I think about the words. I've been thinking about that from the day Garret was born, before he could even comprehend words. Like, I'm whispering in Ariana's ear every single night, I love you, you're beautiful, I love you, you're beautiful. And she is. Yeah.
But why do you do that when she can't understand those words?
There's actually studies out there, and this is probably too deep for this podcast, but who cares? Yeah. If you look at the sound vibrations of positive words versus negative words, the sharpness and the harmonies and the tonalities of positive words versus negative words actually, excuse me, goodness, that was like, good, huh? That was, it just came right out. I didn't even have like an option. It's truly a lunch podcast. But just, if you're, pause this video, go Google, the sound waves of positive words and the sound waves of negative words, and they truly have impact.
Yeah.
They are different. The sharpness and what they actually do. Like, if you speak, I think there's a study of like them doing this to plants. Speaking negatively to plants, they didn't grow as much. Speaking harmoniously and positive to plants, they grew more. They were more fruitacious is not the word, but like fruitful. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
So, when I think about that from at the God level, right? When I think of this at a God level, God created words as well, like the ability for us to speak. He created that. Breaking that down, He also created a harshness to that. So, yes, and He speaks life.
Yes.
So I'm going to speak life to my children. I believe that I'm going to speak life to Brittany. I'm going to speak life to you. I'm going to speak it to my clients. So when I'm thinking about the power of my words, I'm thinking about the life of my words. How long is what I'm going to say living in you, living in here? Yes. And that's part of my rapport building. Like, that's at a molecular level is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think, some of in my life, I know there's words that people have spoken into me that have had such a huge impact on my life and the direction of my life. The littlest bit of encouragement when I didn't see something myself and somebody saw that in me meant the world to me. And so, the purpose of this podcast is, to turn it to you guys.
Absolutely.
What are the words that you guys are speaking? The people that you're influencing, and you might say, I'm not really a boss, I'm not a leader, but you are an influence. You are a leader in your community. You might not be superior over people, but your attitude, the way that you carry yourself around people, is influencing people. And you can be at the lowest on the food chain, but you can still have a positive impact. And I believe that the Holy Spirit can be contagious. So if you operate, like us, and you feel like, God has the Holy Spirit inside of you, if you live a life that is hopeful and joyful, you can be a really positive light in this dark world. And so I encourage you today, you do have a purpose, you do have a reason for what you're doing. It might seem small, but every single day, if you just start out and just pray, God, please use me. I can tell you, He's going to open up those doors for you, and He's done it for me a lot of times. I know He's done it for you. And so I encourage you, speak life to somebody today. Just text somebody real quick as soon as you finish with this podcast. Text somebody something very kind, and I bet you'll probably get something kind back. Yeah. And just show love to everybody around you. And let's make Grand Rapids, let's make our state and our country better for that, and be a better light, because it is dark, and there's a lot of heavy things going on in this world. So I guess kind of to wrap things up, if you're okay with that, I just want to
rate our meal too.
Oh, we got to rate our meal.
How was everything tasting?
Really great. Yeah,
delicious. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
that was perfect timing. And yeah, I would say really great breakfast. Really great. I would say probably a 9 out of 10 for breakfast.
There we go. Wow, good. Yeah, I forgot that they actually did breakfast. I thought I was going to get a burger today. And then one of my favorite things to ask is, what do you recommend on the menu? And then she reminded me, well, we do breakfast. I was like, well, shoot, I guess I'm going to have breakfast. So I got the Sammy's, it was the Bonnie's sandwich. So, not that you want to see exactly what I'm eating, but sausage, bacon, ham, smashed tots, eggs on a brioche bun with some of the best seasoned potatoes. Like I'm not a seasoned potato guy, but these were like cooked to perfection. So dynamite. Really, really a good sandwich. It's not too overfilling, and it's good. So I would probably say it's right up there with a 9 as well. Yeah, and the atmosphere is pretty cool too. I don't know if you guys saw this back wall, but yeah, this is freaking cool.
Pretty cool. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in for another week, for listening to us, for supporting us. If you need anything, as we say every single week, please let us know. We're here for you, even if it's something as simple as prayer. And also, if you know of anybody looking to buy or sell, please put them in touch with us. We would love to help them and serve them as well. So have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
I think part of that is the mentality of, I listened to another book, I think I told you about this on the last podcast, is the book Relentless. It's talking about I was talking with my dad about it, talking about closers, coolers, and cleaners. What are you? And the book has a really great analogy on what it means to be a cleaner. The cleaner never stops to celebrate. Like Michael Jordan never stopped to celebrate. He's like, he got his ring, and he always, when he got his first ring, he held up 2. When he got his third ring, he held up 4. Right? It's like he's like, that's how.
He's on to the next.
Yeah, it's like I'll celebrate after the game. Is 1. But what's next? What's on the horizon? Cleaners, like he's like, LeBron James, not a cleaner. He's a closer. He wants the limelight. He'll take the kudos for doing a good job, and he wants it.
Well, stop wasting all your good material before we record.